Hello and welcome back to coverage of the Central European Disc Golf Championships 2023. This is final round back 9 MPO lead card coverage. Exciting action with only 9 holes remaining. Your next Central European Disc Golf Champion will be crowned. I'm Connor Wood, and with me, the man of the hour, Stanislaus Amann.
Hello guys, hello Connor, here I am. I am excited to watch this Central European Disc Golf Championships. This is really a special event to many players. 10 countries represented here in STP Austria. In the lead, it's myself representing Austria, and having some fellow Austrians hanging around with me here on the lead card. Hole number 10, par 4. This is a really tight gap to hit. There's OB on the left and on the right. If you are OB, you have an optional drop zone just outside of this gap. Second part of the hole is basically an open shot, but there's still OB on the left and on the right.
We have you getting us started here. Looking to play the width very nicely. I believe a small kick off those straight branches. We see the spotter hustle to give you information. And you saw a green flag, I presume.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little kick off the right side. Was saved by quite a bit, honestly. And Laurenz here trying to go over the top. Grenade. Little bit of an early release for him, finding himself in the middle of those trees on the left hand side.
And Florian hitting that late gap nicely as well. Receives the inbounds call. Looks to have pushed quite far left around the corner as well. Could potentially reduce the distance on his remaining upshot. We see Bálint here coming into this back 9, just 1 stroke behind Laurenz currently. And that one just getting a little bit too up to straight. His favored hyzer release with that slight understability really finding him in some trouble. We go to the drop zone. Laurenz up first.
Yeah,
how far is this from the basket, Stan?
Yeah, this is about 105 meters, just roughly above 100. It really plays favorable for the forehand, as there is some hillside on the right side, but this was a super close one for Laurenz. Really scary.
Bálint as well, looking to crash the hillside with the forehand hyzer. A very nice shape and good flight there, finding himself in the circle for his par save. We go to you now, just barely safe. You take your meter accommodation and you have a look to the green. What are we throwing here?
I'm just going with a link, kind of a straight putter, and I'm so scared about this approach. I'm really leaving this one short. Just throwing it to the hillside on the right. This should be done a little bit better, I feel.
I think Florian will think the same about his shot. Quite an unforced error there from an ideal tee shot. Finds quite a nose-up early release on that forehand and will be on the right side out of bounds. I think with the holes running out and the strokes between you and him continuing to remain pretty substantial, you give a soft bid there. Florian's chance to catch up certainly running out as the holes go on. This is here him for par.
Yeah. Personally, for me, I'm really happy with a par on this hole, as this averages about 0.5 strokes above the par 4. So this really is the hardest hole on the course, as there's so much OB and usually also some wind. Par is a really decent score on this one. I think there's not more than 2-3 birdies around.
And we see the putts now beginning to land. Florian drops back to 6 under par with that bogey. Take a moment to ensure a safe par, and as you mentioned for your game plan, certainly a fine score. As Laurenz and Bálint now both tied at 3 over for the moment. Only 7 holes remaining. That third place position still yet to be decided.
So yeah, hole 11 from basically the hardest one we go to one of the easiest ones on the course. Quite a short par 4 coming in at 172 meters. You can really push the distance on the drive. I have seen some people ending in circle 3, maybe even circle 2 with some very aggressive shots. There's not too much danger on this one, so par really should be the worst score you're getting on this one.
You see, you push this straight to hyzer piercing shot out there into the fairway. That low flight really ensuring there's not too much movement to the left. Bálint here pushing the width a little bit more with a lot of hyzer angle. Clipping a branch on his way will be slowed down, but I think still certainly in a position to attack, as you mentioned. Certainly a hole you can push it on, and Laurenz just bombing this one. But getting it too straight, hit some branches. Still a lot of distance on that tee shot.
Yeah, totally. So really the key also is to be a little bit on the right side on your tee shot. If you fade out too much left, you can end up with quite a difficult angle, or maybe you can even end up in some trees. Here we see Bálint just finding this clump of branches or whatever it is. Yeah, forced to go to a sidearm.
And unfortunately goes bush to bush there. Will still look to be slightly obstructed. Stan, we see you looking to push through this low ceiling, and you fight through everything. Flashing chains for a moment. Gotta be pleased with that one.
Yeah, this was quite a bit lucky, so I'm happy being inside the circle there.
Laurenz making his way to the green. We see what Florian is left with, also shaping the turnover forehand through the gap. That late stability keeping him straight, flying. Just like that, he is up there. Bálint forced to drop to the knee and go to this wide straddle to open up the width and the height. Unfortunately, he finds a bit too much of that just off the band.
Yeah, Flo here was going quite a bit long, coming back from circle's edge. Just too low, airballing this one. I think he really feels that there's almost on all chances gone to make a run for this title.
Perhaps you're feeling the same with that birdie as you continue to storm ahead and set a dominant performance here at this prestigious tournament.
And Laurenz here finally able to grab a birdie after some missed birdie putts. I spoiled that one. I'm really sorry, but I think this is too short, so no one should miss that one. Yeah, and just like this, we move over to a par 3. This is just in between 2 par 4s. It's the longest par 3 on the course, 133 meters. It's really a hyzer flip shot that you want to finish. You want to have some finish on the shot at the end again. There's some OB long, and we usually don't think about this OB long too much, but when the tournament comes, there's always some people ripping this shot so hard, so actually this OB comes in play quite a bit. My shot ended up in circle 2, just on the right hand side of the basket. Laurenz here with his rip.
Shaping a beautiful flex. The late fade back to the basket, using all of the width available to him in the fairway. Beautiful delivery to the green here on 12. You see Bálint here going for that hyzer flip that you mentioned up the middle. Also finding the late stability. Will leave himself with a long putt. Solid line from him to find the full flight.
Yeah, this is just such a beautiful fairway, and if you hit the angle right on this full send drive, one of the best feelings on this course for me personally. Floor here with another really nice one. And also at this point of the round we really see the crowd growing. So there's approximately 50 people, I think, watching. Just want to see what the best players here in Austria and Central Europe are showing off on this very long and demanding layout.
As we see your putt slightly to the right, Bálint slightly low. Some more chances here to capitalize on this long birdie putt. Florian just off the right side as well. We will go to Laurenz.
So Laurenz was safe, but just very close to the OB. It just airballs that one. Finds himself with an even longer par putt now. This is circle's edge to not lose another stroke.
Good to get that one back. As you mentioned, a longer putt than the one he had initially. I'm sure he would like to find that birdie, but well done.
Yeah, for Laurenz it's really interesting situation at this kind of oh yeah, here we see a little celebration for my par. But yeah, Laurenz at +1, +2 at this kind of score, there's really a packed field now battling for third place. So this is really getting interesting here after 2/3 of this final round. But really, basically everything open here. Who will take down the bronze medal? Hole 13, definitely one that gives us a lot of scoring separation. This is the second hardest hole on the course, a par 4 with a really tight opening tunnel and a tricky upshot here. Elevated basket at the end, a lot of thick bushes to the left, so you shouldn't fade out on your upshots here to this basket, otherwise you will find yourself in the rough. But first things first, hit this gap.
And you scrape on by off that low ceiling. Were you able to break out cleanly?
No, not at all. This one really hit some branches hard and kicked to the left, so really not a good position for me on the drive. Neither for Laurenz here, as he hits something on the way as well and kicks to the left too. So both of us pretty protected there.
This shape playing quite favorably to Bálin's favored release. And you see him right in the center of that second gap. Florian now.
Yeah, finds himself just in the fairway, maybe a little bit too short to attack for the birdie. Here we see Laurenz now scrambling to get a chance for his par. Gets this forehand roller out pretty cleanly.
We see you also similar position and similar shot shape, but shut down by that big tree in front of you, the main obstacle to your progress up the fairway. But we see you still in good spirits. Give a thumbs up.
Yeah, so from this position, really bogey is the best I could do. This is just a decent out, which leaves me with a really manageable upshot now. But yeah, I think there was only 5 birdies in the whole tournament on this hole, as this is like 2 very specific shots.
And another hole that averaged almost an entire stroke over par. Hole 13 averaging 4.83 is a par 4. Very difficult, very demanding, with both the initial tunnel shot as well as this well-guarded green. Florian shaping the forehand on full hyzer. That will leave him still some solid distance to the green, but in the fairway, and you see what it means to him there. I think he knows that you're too far to chase, and Laurenz quite far behind him. He's just looking to finish a solid round. Laurenz pinning it.
Yeah, the fans going wild here on this one, loving it. Laurenz saving his par most likely from a pretty awkward spot. Me on this other side here, going a little bit long on this approach, but well inside the circle.
Florian just looking to push this a low overstable forehand hyzer. catching a little bit of ground play. He sends it just a touch long, but certainly within a good putting range. Bálint here shaping a very awkward shot. Leaves him with a tester to the elevated basket.
Just coming up a little bit short on this one. This is me trying to save a bogey.
Similarly for you, just a little bit low, even coming up and off the chains. We go to Florian. And he delivers that par putt cleanly. Smooth putting stroke. Florian solid on the green.
So yeah, this is 2-stroke swing, but nothing that really stresses me. Still, there's one thing I really want to do now to not getting into maybe some kind of nervous situation. The thing I want to do is basically to stick this island. So this is hole number 14, shortest hole on the course, best birdie opportunity and also best opportunity to empty the ace pot. There's around 600 euros in the pot. And yeah, if you miss this island, you go to a drop zone, which is super scary, on around 11 meters on a elevated basket with OB very close to it. Laurenz here delivering a really nice forehand hyzer shot into the bullseye.
And of course, the tournament standings on the line, but also that big money ace pot that you mentioned, as well as the hill to the backstop. Certainly these players incentivized to give this one a run. You see Florian there with the height just a little bit to that right side. Also looks to have stuck the island nicely. Bálint going for that hyzer flip.
Really riding the hyzer flip, getting the right turn, sticking the island. And this is really always a high pressure situation because there's so many people doing some noise, doing some clapping. Let's go.
Oh, that soft hyzer bid. Good chance there. The crowd loves it. We go now to the green.
Bálint able to stick one, opening the birdie fest here. Flow to follow up, getting it in.
And with both you and Laurenz very close, looking to complete this potential star frame here on 14.
Yeah, and this was the last group on this tournament. There was no ace in the tournament at all, so next year there will be an even bigger ace pot, as all of the ace pot money goes to the event next year. Around 1,000 euros to expect, so to all our viewers, better come to STP. Perfect commercial, I think.
Just like that. Star frame for our MPO lead card here on 14. We move to hole 15, another very daunting hole. Tell us about it, Stan.
Yeah, 15 and 16 is really the final test. It's really a test of strength because those are really long holes and they're really in the open fields. It's in the late afternoon, sun is pouring down, it's super hot, and this hole is long. 348 meters. I think it's the longest hole ever played in Austria. Par 5. You really need to rip some shots. There's very, very, very thick woods on the right that you don't want to enter those at all. There's OB on the left, on top on this dam, and we see here Laurenz going with a safe forehand and Flo going with quite a safe backhand here. So this is perfect position for both players.
Certainly pushing that tree line with the backhand, but finding the stability in time. Bálint once again favoring the forehand. Does nicely, keeps it very low and straight. The more left you are, the more it will continue to open up that angle on the next shot. See you. Is that a Cloudbreaker in your hand?
Yeah, Horizon Cloudbreaker. Trying to play a smooth flex. Totally shanked this shot. Really just a bad shot, but I got lucky, kicked out of the woods. Here I am attacking this little, I don't know how to call this, from quite far behind. It's really the smallest part of the fairway.
Yeah, quite a unique shape and slope to this fairway, this small mound playing with the left side OB, the right side, the tree line looming, really forcing players to get the stability and the shape of the shot correct. Laurenz, unfortunately, on the ladder, not quite staying in bounds. Does find himself OB there. Bálint going forehand. This looks to be a great shape.
Yeah, perfect shot. That's really difficult if your drive lands in this kind of mounty area. If you don't have a clean footing here for your second shot, it's very tricky to deliver a good one. As Laurenz went to a standstill there, fades out as he doesn't get the usual power in. Flo, on the other hand, getting the full run up and ripping this one very far down the fairway.
And we see here your third shot coming up. I assume just playing for par at this point, going for that standstill. Some nice progress there.
Yeah, totally happy with this one, well inside of reach for a par. Nothing more to ask for after that tee shot, honestly.
Bálint playing his third forehand of the hole. Has left himself just slightly short and right. Maybe a long putt or possibly a short throw. Laurenz from up on the left drops the hyzer down into the green very nicely. Good recovery after his OB penalty there.
Yeah, at this point I just want to point out a big thanks to all our spotters, especially on this hole. It was very important to have some support, some spotters showing us if it's free where our disc land, guiding us through the course. So big thanks for many helping hands making all this possible. Flo here with his attempt for eagle, gets it stuck really close, seems to get a nice birdie here.
Bálint from circle 2, just a little bit low on the cage. We saw from his body language, he did really want that one. We go to you now, Stan, putting it in for the par, retaining your 16 under score here on hole 15 with only 3 holes remaining after this. Has it settled in yet that you are more than likely going to be the next Central European Disc Golf champion?
Yeah, I think I remember a conversation with Laurenz on the next tee. We had to wait a little bit and he was, pointing out that I will be the first 2-time MPO CDGC champion. And I was like, okay, well, it's not done yet. And then I was just calculating once again and then, okay, this is gonna happen. So this is hole 16, 210 meters, par 4. There's this big bush in the middle of the fairway. Most of the players are just trying to set their hyzer up, playing to the left side of the fairway and attacking the pin from the left side. The T-sign shows us the right side route. You really need to have a strong arm to be able to clear this bush in one shot.
See from Flo there, just a nice placement to the left side, pushing the trees and then finding the fade beforehand. Something tells me Laurenz is trying to push this one.
Yeah, once again, just going for the big shot. This one was huge. All the way around, back in bounds. About 60 from the pin, 60 meters.
Bálint as well, playing that fighting hyzer. Has a good angle integrity and although quite a wide release, really does fight back into that sweet spot to the left.
Yeah, it was quite funny on this hole. I actually designed this one and I was thinking everyone is just going hyzer on the right side. And I was doing so all the time in practice on my own, until like the final practice time when my friend George told me, yeah, you're going the left side as well, right? And I was like, no, actually I'm going right. But then I just tried once the left side, and then I was like convinced, okay, this is really the way to go. And yeah, this one is just outside circle here, big turnover over this little dam.
Yeah, despite being a little bit pinched on that angle, Bálint just mowing the lawn right over that hill and comes back beautifully to the crowd's applause. You see the smile on his face, happy to have that one come back. He'll be left with a long downhill look. Florian now shaping his forehand into the green. And just absolute bullseye precision from him there.
And here we see Laurenz really close to the pin. And he knows, actually, he knows the standings, he knows he needs to get this close, because it's gonna be a fight for the third. So once again I want to point out this, it really seems like the score for a third place finish will be around par, maybe -1, something around that. He needs to birdie with only 2 holes and a little bit of this one to go.
You're left with this putt for birdie, just off the left side chains. You don't need it, but I'm sure you certainly want it. And Laurenz getting that one in. Very little spin or momentum to that putt, really just pushing it into the chains from that distance. Florian as well able to capitalize on that 3.
Here we see my little brother in the picture. Yeah, he's just hopping away so the camera can show what's going on. Actually, he was playing in the tournament as well, just supporting me now mentally in this final round. And this is hole 17, one of only 3 holes on this course below 100 meters of distance, and has a shot over a little mount, so there's a mando to really make you throw this anhyzer. The basket is tucked under some branches. Really a tricky green as well, it can be at least.
Florian coming in really hot there to the green. Skips right off the basket. Look to have a nice dyed disc in his hand there. Laurenz has been shown quite a nice line, looking to manufacture something similar, and he's done just that. Even catches the ground a touch sooner and looks to be absolutely parked as he continues to fight for that 3rd place spot, which you touched on, Stan.
Yeah, he knows he needs it, and he knows he needs it close because he feels so secure on his putting, so he's really pumped about being not more than 2 or 3 meters away from this basket. So here I'm going with my mind bender, really understable mid-range.
And a booming voice from the gallery. That looks to have dropped down perhaps just outside the circle.
Correctly. Just giving some appreciation to my friend who was trying to scream me in the basket. Didn't get it. So yeah, as you mentioned, just the outside look for me here.
And so healthy. A great putt there under the hanging branches, and quick to take that one out. We see a good smile and some energy from you now, Stan, with just 1 hole left remaining to close out this incredible performance. Florian as well securing that birdie nicely, putting himself to 10 under going into 18.
Yeah, this is really, I'm realizing this is happening now, but I'm really kind of not knowing how to feel. I'm really kind of confused at this point, as this was a really tiring weekend with all the work, for all the play with this demanding course. This is hole 18 now to finish things up. A long par 3, pretty technical line if you want to hit the direct one. There's a safe play as well. There's a lot of OB to the left side of the fairway. We all know. Just 1 more hole. And yeah, maybe just get some pars, because this one is such a hard birdie. Only Laurenz knows. He wants to birdie because Currently Leon Sandleitner is in the clubhouse at -1, being tied for 3rd. So is Laurenz. So -2 does give Laurenz the spot on the solo 3rd.
We see Florian push that one out. Laurenz here, a pivotal moment for the tournament standings. Playing the big hyzer, he gets cleanly past the branches. He continues to push.
Yeah, he almost hits the cone of the basket, like the base of the basket, skips just next to it and skips OB. It's about 6-7 meters off the basket, and you could see his reaction. He's quite pessimistic about making this putt there. Me on the other hand, I'm just taking my 30-meter putt there for a birdie. Most likely a par.
Understandably so there. Bálint looking to finish strong, shapes one under the low ceiling, but I'm not quite sure it had all the distance, still a little bit left for him. As we have you up first, Stan. Just need to put this one close now. And you've done just that.
Yeah, some friendly congrats here from Laurenz already. Appreciate this a lot. Bálint here with a very long look.
A great honest bid there from way downtown. Shaping that flex putt, we go to Florian. No stranger to the long bid. And he gives it a look at the chains, but just fades left. We go to Laurenz, I believe. Should be up next, as you mentioned, about 7 or so meters off the OB. Just pulls it to the right.
That seems
meaning
it.
this now for bogey.
Yeah, unfortunate finish for Laurenz, just finishing in 4th place now. You can see the frustration, not happy about that.
Florian with a great performance here to go 10 under in his final score, securing that 2nd place position here. And with that putt right there, your 2023 Central European Disc Golf Champion, Stanislaus Amann, for the 2nd time.
2023, Stanislaus Amann!
Flexing on the crowd and on the competition. Stan, what does it mean to take this title home?
Yeah, this is just amazing. I love playing in front of a home crowd. I love playing in St. Pölten. I love this course. This was a lot of fun. This means a lot to me. So I'm very happy to take down this title for the 2nd time. Yeah, just enjoying this moment.
An incredible and dominant performance. Your score really showcasing the pride of European disc golf there. You see your final podium, yourself taking 1st place, in 2nd place Florian Lingenhel, and 3rd place Leon Sandleitner, with a 4 under round to find a 1 under total score. Thank you to all of you who joined us here for coverage of the CEDGC. Some incredible coverage. Stan, thank you for inviting me.
Thanks a lot for joining us here, Connor. Thank you, proDiscgolf, for this coverage, and of course, Discmania for taking the main sponsorship of this event. This was a true Central European Championships. This was a true challenge. Happy to be part of it. Happy to make this possible. Thank you, Connor. Have a good one. Bye.